All right, guys, welcome to part two of maintaining your listing. In this part, we're going to talk about the dreaded hijackers. I'm sure everybody has heard this terminology, hijacker or Amazon pirate. Long story short, they are thieves. They're people that infringe on your listing, steal the buy box, steal the limelight, steal the listing, steal the sales. It's a horrible thing. I wish I could say that there's a way to indefinitely get them from tagging on, but it is inevitable. They will eventually, or if they don't eventually, hopefully not. Hopefully they don't tag on your listing, but it is inevitable. You cannot keep them from tagging on, but there are ways to get them off, and I'm going to show you ways to scare them as well as ways to get them off of your listing. A couple of the main things that you want to do when you're creating your product listing is number one, make sure your logo is in the image. All right, you can see down here they actually have their logo in the image. It's not predominant. I recommend it being nice and predominant, bold and colorful. You can go over to Fiverr, Fiverr, get a logo created for $5. I talk about that. That'll also be in the resources. Another thing I recommend is getting that logo or your brand copyrighted. So go ahead for the trademark registration. I refer and I talk to Rocket Lawyer. You know, there's LegalZoom. There's a bunch of different ones. I use Rocket Lawyer. You can get this done for between $49 and $99. Get the trademark registration. Protect your business, protect your name, protect your logo. You can also get your images copyrighted. If it starts, if it's a killer listing, get your main images copyrighted, get the text, title, all that stuff copyrighted. Once you obtain that copyright, it's going to be a whole lot easier to scare them with the next method, which is the cease and desist. So if they tag onto your listing, okay, you have the logo, you're selling under a brand, they're unable to sell. The reason why they can tag on is because your brand is not registered. So once you get the ball moving, you want to go through the brand registry. You want to obtain brand registration, which you can go to help in the dashboard, and it will show you the process of how to do it. It will give you the necessary information that you have to fill out to do so. That's something that I can't walk you through. It's pretty self-explanatory. So with that being said, if you don't have the brand registered, if you're not in the brand registry, which takes a little bit of time, people can tag on and they can hijack your product. So number one, make sure you have your logo. Don't have some little watermark like this. Have it predominant, have it colorful. Number two, trademark registration. Make sure you can get your brand, your company name trademark registered. These are just steps that's going to make it a lot easier to scare them away. You can even do the Java. You can do the HTML. Just Google it, HTML for copyright C. It looks like a little C with a circle around it. You can put that in your description, put your brand name, then put the copyright C. Sometimes that's a deterrent. Usually when they see this, it's a deterrent, but you can see they still have hijackers. Which leaves me, how do you know if you have hijackers? If your sales stop immediately or they slow down significantly, first thing you want to do is go to your listing, check. If you see where it says other sellers on Amazon here, you know you have hijackers. All right. If you click on it, it'll show you the hijacker. So this is the listing. Here's the hijacker. All right. The scumbag here. You can see this guy's got over 9,000 ratings. This guy has 120, so this is a scumbag who's just starting out. He's got 95%, so the guy is just a scumbag. He's trying to weasel his way into sales. He's trying to steal the buy box. The way that the hijacker steals the buy box, there's no other way around it. If you have more feedback, it does not matter. The way that you steal the buy box is by having a lower price than that advertised. The reason why he's not obtaining the buy box is because he is merchant fulfilling this. Okay, see the shipping? It's merchant fulfilled. See the prime here? See no prime here? See the shipping? That lets you know he's merchant fulfilling. He is probably drop shipping this, so he probably doesn't even have an inventory of it. He's probably drop shipping from a supplier to the consumer, which is horrible. I don't recommend that. Don't even think about it. Don't even research it. There's no big money there, and you're just going to be a scumbag if you do that. So that's the reason why he's not stealing the buy box. If he was Prime eligible and he was at $9.95, 3 cents less, he would be stealing the buy box. Now, how it works is usually, the buy box, if there's more than 3 hijackers and they all have the same price, Amazon will split the sales in between them. So, one seller will get two, the next seller two, the next seller two. Logo, trademark registration, brand registry, copyright. Copyright your images, copyright your text. All right, it costs a little bit of money, but if this listing is making you money, that's just an investment to secure your listing and to secure your finances. Because what happens is if you don't have this information and somebody tags onto your listing, you can send them a cease and desist, but if you have no proof that he's infringing on proprietary information, then they could be a dick and just say, hey, I'm not moving, I'm not going anywhere. Amazon allows me to do this. You're not copyrighted, you're not in the trademark registry, F off, basically. And, it sucks, but that's how it is. And sometimes assholes do that. So obtain all that stuff. If you don't have all that stuff, send them a cease and desist. I believe it's $30. They're not going to show you prices. It's like $30. And what happens is, view the sample. Here's the sample here. If you're slick, you can even Photoshop this, but it's put together really good. And what happens is a real lawyer actually reviews this. But you could copy this and Photoshop that. I know a lot of guys do that. But what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and put all the legal information in here. And 9 times out of 10, the hijackers never got one of these. So when you email them and then you attach a copy to Amazon so that they can document that you sent them a legitimate document that was reviewed and authorized by a legitimate lawyer, they're going to get nervous. Usually they're going to drop off. And then you're going to have a track record with Amazon. Like I said, if you have the available resources, the extra finances, this is a profitable product that you have and you want to invest the money to secure it, especially before fourth quarter where you're going to make a killing. And every day, every hour that you're not selling or you're losing sales to a hijacker is costing you hundreds of dollars anyway. Invest a little bit of money, get the trademark, get the copyright. And then, if you have the copyright, if you have the trademark, you obtain the intellectual property to prove that you have a legitimate cause that they are infringing upon your product or your brand. There's multiple ways to go at that, to fight that war then. And then all you have to do is go on your seller dashboard, create a case. Okay, give them the ASIN of the product, give them the seller name, and then upload your proof of your brand registry, upload the proof of you sending them the cease and desist, your copyright, etc. And then usually Amazon will just remove them. You won't even have to conflict with the third party. But just starting out, you don't have all that stuff, so go with the $30 route, the cease and desist. 9 times out of 10, that'll work. Once your listing's kicking butt, invest the $200 or whatever it is to get all 3 of those parts secured. That way, the long term, you can ensure the longevity of your listing. And in fourth quarter, if you do get a hijacker, we're talking minutes, less than an hour. I've had hijackers and I've had them gone in 30 minutes. You send them that cease desist with all those document letters attached to it, signed by the lawyer. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. 9 times out of 10, they've never even seen a cease and desist letter. So that's definitely a way to go ahead and maintain the longevity of your listing, maintain your listing, deal with hijackers.